not a test. There is no need for panic. Do not be alarmed.
Oh my God!
No, God!
The off-track syndicate is now controlling this frequency.
They can't close us down. We're pirates.
They will find a way. Governments loathe people being free.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. Accused of cultural appropriation. Yes, even by radio pirates. Millions of social media community standard violations. They dare to stand for the Constitution, liberty, freedom, faith, and your right to have a good time. Grab your drink and have a seat. Or don't. You are moments away from the greatest entertainment $20 can buy you downtown. The Off-Track Syndicate is on now. The collision of common sense and comedy. Okay, maybe the common sense part is a bit of a stretch. But hey, we are funny. Well, fine, okay. At least you can laugh at us. Off track, filling in for DOAE show. It's time for a dumpster fire. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Defenders Live. The Defenders are missing this evening. We have a couple of fill-in Defenders and one debumper. That would be Timmy, the pilot, our debumper. He brings up the rear end. He's an ass, if you will.
You know, I've been hearing reports that, because nobody really knows where Stephen and Dylan are.
That's true. Nobody knows.
One report I just read a minute ago that Dylan, he's doing something with rabbits or something out west. Let's see, it says he's at a bunny ranch.
A bunny ranch?
I don't know why he would be out there with rabbits.
Is he hunting?
I don't know. What about Steven? Have you heard anything?
Last I heard about Steven, there was something about chicken blood and a voodoo ritual in the Dominican Republic. It's how he maintains such a youthful look.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's why he's perpetually 12. So apparently that treatment's got to be taken care of at least once every 6 months or so.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll be looking for other reports throughout the evening. Anybody know where Stephen or Dylan are? I want you to go ahead and tweet those to us at hashtag derailed. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to set my tweet deck to read hashtag arm yourselves too, just in case people are not smart enough to figure out, we're in the Defenders time slot right now, being substitute defenders.
Well,
so
I mean, we're bringing a little class to the time slot today, maybe. Okay, we're not, but
yeah, that's true.
I'm still trying to figure out who Stephen and Dylan is.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
Big shoes to fill.
Big shoes.
They have big feet.
Well,
like Sasquatch.
I think Dylan might have big feet. But Stephen, it doesn't make any sense that he would have big feet.
No, because
he's like 5'2", something like that.
I think I found Dylan. Hold on here.
You found Dylan?
He's
That's a picture from the bunny ranch. He just got done hunting.
Mm-hmm. He's got his hunter cap on.
Some other members of Off Track were going to join us this evening. Melissa had a friend that was in desperate need of some help this evening, and she has gone to do that. And we say a prayer for her friend as well. They just lost their spouse. So
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
it's a sad night. And if you would say a prayer for Melissa's friend, we're not going to throw out any names, just Melissa's friend. Say a prayer for him. They're
Melissa sent me a picture, and she tried using some of that Gorilla Glue stuff that one woman used here the other day, and this is what it turned out.
So wait, Melissa's got Gorilla Glue in her hair?
Yeah, that's her.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
There's that.
she's always trying new things.
Yeah, yes, she is.
And then Sean really wanted to be here, but
He's there he is.
oh, look, there he is. Last I heard, he was on a street corner somewhere in Hollywood. Is that correct, Rusty?
Yeah, I don't know what he's. I think he's wearing glasses and a cane and a cup, getting money. I don't know, trying to get back east.
Okay.
Who knows?
I heard he was at the truck stop.
Sean, put on a skirt if you want to get some money on that corner in Hollywood. It'll help you out. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna delve a little bit into the politics that Off Track normally wouldn't, because we are covering we are substitute defenders. So I feel like we got to do that. Yesterday we lost a legend in the talk radio industry, and
Yeah.
I'm sad about that personally because.
Did Brad get lost in the snow?
No, silly. Not.
Oh, I thought Brad got lost in a snowstorm.
No.
No, different legend. One Rush Limbaugh passed away yesterday.
Oh,
Age-
no.
Age 70 years old. He died of lung cancer.
Dang.
And as you would expect, the liberal left was kind and loving because that's what they do. They're kind and loving.
No,
That's
No.
not accurate, Rusty?
that's not accurate. They were scumbags.
Okay. So, University of California staff celebrated Rush Limbaugh's death. The faculty expressed delight in the death of the conservative radio legend Rush Limbaugh hours after his passing, calling him a one-man hate industry. I wonder what they think they were just doing right there by doing that. Is the irony lost on them?
Yeah, yes, it is. They don't. It doesn't apply to them. I mean, they can. The left can say and do whatever it wants with the backing of the media, the social networks, technology giants. They all back it. Little do they know, if all the stuff got implemented that they think that they want, those people would be nothing then. And yeah.
I feel that that's accurate. Further stating that America is objectively a better place without Rush Limbaugh in it. For decades, Rush Limbaugh made millions trafficking in racism, sexism, xenophobia. The creative writing professor and former CNN employee, Reza Aslan.
CNN1.
Wait a minute. A creative writing professor and
Yes.
used to be a CNN contributor.
Isn't that like an oxymoron?
Well, CNN does a lot of creative writing. They're definitely
Yeah, they sure do. They're very creative. I think I found Sean.
You found Sean?
Yeah, I found him.
Oh no,
I think him and
is he on the drugs again?
yeah, he's with Jen smoking some stuff. So.
Oh, Lord.
And there he is.
Okay,
What?
so we have a Sean sighting.
Yeah,
We know where Sean is.
Yeah, up in smoke. So, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
Further liberals celebrating on Twitter.
There's a couple libs right there.
Yeah, a couple liberals right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably some sheep off to the left.
They started a hashtag yesterday. Rest in piss. Not peace.
Excuse me?
Rest in piss.
Rest in piss.
Was the number one trending hashtag yesterday among those tolerant, loving liberals.
You think that would be banned from the socials?
I don't think they will, no. I would think that should violate some community standards violations. Attention, Jack Dorsey, you dimwit.
Yeah.
Rot in hell, good riddance. The idea that you say artificially nice things about people after they die is weird. I never understood the logic of it. Rush Limbaugh was a terrible person while he was alive. He made a living attacking the powerless. He attacked the powerless, did he? To my knowledge, when I listened to Rush Limbaugh, he was lambasting the Democrat elites. They're not exactly powerless in any way or shape or form. So you see what happened here. God canceled Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
That was one of the tweets by Aaron Far Left Loon. That's a good Twitter handle for her.
Yeah.
Bette Midler. Rush Limbaugh has gone to his reward. I bet it's awful hot. She's a sweet lady. We got another article by her here in a little while, I think. Celebrities line up. As you can expect, Billy Baldwin, Rosanna Arquette, they all had really, really nice things to say about Rush Limbaugh. You think, Rusty?
Yeah.
No.
I'm sure.
I don't think they did. Cancer cured the cancer. Also, cancer killed the cancer. These people are just some fine examples of love and tolerance and peace that they constantly let us know that they are all about. However, I'm not just going to call out the liberals and their idiocracy and their hatred and their vile speech, because they're not the only ones guilty of this. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died in September of last year, I believe it was, right?
Yep.
And conservatives, because they're always the side of moderation and respect, were exceptionally kind to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. No, that's not true at all.
No.
Conservatives have celebrated the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Right-wing Christian groups proclaimed the Supreme Court death was celestially ordained and belongs to God. How dare you assign someone's death like that to God? Say that it was his plan, that he ordained it because you thought they were evil. Yeah. Mass murdering hag ruined more lives than Hitler, Mao, and Stalin combined.
What the hell is wrong with people?
The level of disrespect is insane. It is okay to disagree with others. It is. Are we going to have unity in this country? In their family's pain? This is uncalled for. This is unacceptable. This is behavior that is beneath us. Do I expect it out of the left? I do. I really do. Nothing that we do or say is going to convince them that they should be the loving, tolerant people that they proclaim to be. They're just not going to be. We don't have to agree with them. We don't have to let them have their way. We don't have to not oppose them at every turn we have. But we don't have to be assholes about it.
Nope.
That was one of my biggest complaints about Trump. I really liked a lot of the things that he did. And at some level, it felt good watching him beat on people on Twitter for idiocy. But it was wrong. I wish that he would have held his tongue a little bit more. It's perfectly acceptable to explain why somebody is wrong in a rational and civil tone. You don't have to call them names while you're doing it. What are your thoughts, Rusty?
Yeah, but George Bush was really good at holding his tongue. But what did it gain us?
I think that he held his tongue a little bit too much. I personally, he allowed them to beat on him constantly, and he didn't stand up for himself in any way, shape, or form.
Where's the balancing point? I mean, where's the balancing point? I mean, it's pretty much damned if you do and damned if you don't.
It's true.
Why does the left, why do they get a pass? Because they have the media and the tech giants, and all that, and they seem to hold their stuff together and vote, all in one and the right can't do it. And if they do, then everybody, the aforementioned, the media and all that, they just, it's like we can't win no matter what. So yeah, it felt good, watching Trump, attack these people and do all that. But like you said, in the end, where does it gain? What did it gain us, and how does it make us look? Just like with Ginsburg, everybody jumped up and down and we're saying all this crap, and now we're supposed to be just appalled that they're going to say this about Rush Limbaugh. It's just, everything is just so screwed up. And I don't have the answers. How do you fix it? You can't. You really can't. You can be good. You can try to do the right thing all day long, but when your opponent continues to do like they do, how do you win? How do you get a good feeling out of any of this?
That's all valid and reasonable thoughts. I think there's got to be some kind of middle ground between standing there and taking the punches like Bush did and going flat out wartime president, gloves off, let's get in the boxing ring and start knocking people out like Trump did.
Yeah.
The left's going to do what the left's going to do, and ultimately I'm not responsible for their behavior. I don't have to answer to the gods someday for what they say.
Right.
I have to answer to God's. Oh, Timmy, did the liberals get into your house again?
Somebody at my door.
Oh no.
It's
what?
It's just frustrating.
It's frustrating. I'm with you there. I'm with you. I am absolutely with you. The other day, the actual defenders, not the substitute defenders like us, the actual defenders, they were having a conversation, something similar, talking about turn the other cheek. And I tweeted at them and I said, I did that for 8 years of Obama. I was kind. I was respectful. I tweeted my disagreements. I wrote my long-ass Facebook posts, and I argued with people in a normal way, or in a what I thought was eloquent at the time way. I tried to avoid the name calling and the just downright vicious attacks and calling people stupid. But after 8 years of that, it felt a little bit like they're pull the football out like a Lucy constantly. And I'm just not doing it again. There isn't any unity. I've had a little bit.
Chris, I think Joe is going to show us the way. Mr. Biden's going to show us the way.
Mr. Biden, he's going to show us the way to unity?
Yes, love and tenderness and kindness. And
hey, if
freedom.
That's the way to unity right there, I am down.
What? No.
Rusty, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. No.
Because if that's the way to unity, we are set. I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought about it a little bit more after I tweeted with the defenders, and I've had about a week and a half now to just let it run around and mull around in my head. I don't have to agree with them. I don't have to let them have their way. I can still civilly disagree with them on the Twitters, on the Facebooks, in person. We're never going to have unity of ideas because the things that the left wants are way too divergent from what I believe are reasonable. The things that I believe the government should do, institute a flat tax, stop doing the things that are constitutionally outside their purview, reduce the government size by at least half to start. These things are not acceptable to the left. We don't have unifying ground to stand on. But I don't have to be an asshole in discussing that with them. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to be jackasses. Today on Twitter, I was called a something troll. It was obnoxious. Something troll. They used an adjective before troll that was, rude. But, I was told to F off. I was called a racist, bigoted, conservative, homophobe. We were talking about windmills.
Yeah.
And apparently, if you disagree with windmills being a good thing, you're a racist, a xenophobe, homophobic, and a hater. Just a hater. I don't think a windmill has any of those qualities. It's not a male or a female. It's not gay. It's not foreign. But arguing with that person or dropping to their level and screaming obnoxious things back at them over the keyboard isn't worth my time. Being upset that they want to call me these things, also not worth my time. You've used that word too many times, it no longer means anything. I don't care what you think about me.
Right.
But I guess... Go ahead.
I have to point out, and I'm a little upset that you assumed the sexual identity of a windmill because you don't know. Have you asked a windmill what if it
Son of a bitch. You're right.
I mean,
I have to check my gendered privilege using this gendered language on windmills.
Absolutely.
Timmy, have you checked the gender of the windmill near your house?
I'd rather not say.
Okay. Don't do it while it's cold, because I believe that you have to lick it in order to figure out what gender it is, and that's bad.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, and I know this is terrible, and I don't know why anybody hasn't pointed this out, I'm pretty sure all windmills are white. I said it. I said it. I'm sorry.
Rusty.
Now maybe they identify
Rusty.
As black.
That's racist.
Yeah, I know, but they're white. Why are they not making black windmills? Why?
That's a good question.
Because you couldn't see them in the dark. It's obvious.
We should make them all green, neon green. They're part of the green energy cause, so making them white is wrong. Rusty's right.
We need a movement. We need to start a movement.
Yeah, oppressive windmills should be green. I think they'd be friendlier if they were green too. People would like them more.
I wonder if it would keep the bird. Wonder if it would keep the birds from running into him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you on YouTube, you can just listen to us in the break while we talk nonsense. All right, so who we got out there on the socials? In the YouTubes, we got John Doherty. John, have you got a new Twitter handle yet, or are you just permanently banned now? Sarah Nichols, Toby. What's up, Toby? And Off Track's #1 fan, Mr. Timothy Ratliff.
All right.
Be safe, brother. It's super cold out there. Over on the Facebooks, on the... I haven't looked at the Off Track Facebook site. Don't know who's in there right now. On the Mojo Facebooks, we got Donna Renee Ivy. What's going on, lady? And Linda
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
No, I missed the R.
And Lisa Wozniak. Thomas McCartney. What's going on, brother?
McCartney. That's a good English name.
Indeed. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. Mojo 50's servers are down this evening due to a power problem in the state of Texas. And as soon as Ron Phillips gets the batteries charged back up, I believe he's on a bicycle right now, hooked up to the power generation thing, and he's working on it. As soon as he gets the batteries up, we will have a server again, and Mojo 50 will be back to normal operations. But for right now, you can find us on the Facebooks and the YouTubes, and if you didn't find us there, well, you can't hear me. I think we've got an update on Sean, too, here when we come back from break.
Oh.
Enjoy the special music I created for this evening's show.
Mm. Man, this feels weird being in here right now.
In where?
In DOAE's spot. It's
what, does it smell or something?
Well, it does smell a little like gym shorts and avocados.
Kind of cramped a little bit.
Avocados.
It's weird.
Wow.
It is a little bit weird. It does smell a little bit like APR coffee, though, because those guys drink a lot of APR coffee. I believe that Dylan's favorite is any American Pride Roasters that somebody puts in a cup for him. So there's also a DOAE guarantee. I believe you can probably find out more about this if you go to DOAEshow.com. If you buy something from AmericanPrideRoasters.com and you don't like it, you can send it to Dylan and he will drink it for free. So
that's awful nice of him right there.
Right. That's mighty white of that guy. Dylan, he's the AI.
Is he related to Marshall Dillon?
Could be related. I think he was a Marshall Dillon in one off-track syndicate skit in the off-track theater. He was Marshall Dillon.
That's right.
Yeah. Miss Kitty smacked him around a little bit. That's true. We'll have one Hot Rocky probably joining us here. I would say in the second hour, maybe. She did note in the YouTubes that she would be joining us at some point. So,
don't tease me.
Tease. We got one Hot Rocky coming for you there, Rusty.
Right.
Ah. Anyway, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. If you order right now, expect your order to be a little bit delayed due to the roasting process being done outside, as the beans, when they're being roasted, put off a gas that would be bad if he did it in the basement or inside of his house. He would probably kill himself.
This is what happens when you do it inside the house. Yeah,
right.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah, that's
boom.
terrible.
Not good.
Wow, that's what happened over there in the Middle East here recently, huh? That warehouse down by the dock, they were roasting coffee beans?
We think so. We don't know.
Okay.
But what is that website one last time?
AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Off Track Syndicate.
We're going to shift.
I'm turning the satellite.
You turn the satellite a little bit? Thank you.
No.
We're going to shift gears here just a little bit. One Rusty Lugnuts is going to tell us about a satellite that dropped off something on a foreign planet. We're looking for aliens, I think.
Right. So today at around 3 p.m. Eastern time, it was wheels down for the newest robot to inhabit Mars. Well, I guess just before 4 p.m. So around 3 or 4. The multi-billion-dollar NASA rover Perseverance landed safely on the red planet after a 300 million-mile journey and a nerve-wracking plunge to the Martian surface.
Was the robot nervous? How do they know?
Well, they weren't, but the people that spent all the time and all that, everybody was pretty nervous about it happening. The 1-ton nuclear-powered Perseverance. I didn't know it was nuclear-powered. That's something. It's about
we got
the size
a nuclear-powered car?
Yeah, nuclear-powered robot.
Nice.
It's about the size of a car, as a matter of fact, a small car.
It's like a tow truck's dropping it off there in the picture I got him. So.
Oh yeah, that's about how it went. The rover autonomously, I nailed that one, timed its movements so that it would alight within a roughly 4-mile wide landing ellipse in Mars' Jezero crater.
And now, big words with Rusty Lugnuts.
There you go, Jezero.
Yeah, which they believe once hosted a deep and potentially long-lived lake.
Lake Jezero.
Nice.
Yeah. I fished in there before.
You fished in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Rusty. I'm sorry.
Did you eat the fish?
No.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Rusty. Sorry.
The rover's mission is ambitious, to seek signs of ancient life on the red planet. It will be the first of NASA's 5 rovers to sniff around for traces of long-dead Martians.
It's getting creepy.
Yeah, to help scientists search for clues that Mars might have been a living planet, Perseverance will stuff its quote-unquote pockets with rock samples that will eventually be returned to Earth for detailed scrutiny. So the plan, from what I understand, is they're going to take all these samples and it's going to deposit it in a spot for a later mission to come and pick it up, which they haven't quite figured out how they're going to do that exactly yet, but they're setting it up to bring stuff back.
What type of samples are they bringing back?
Rock, seeing how it's all rock. They're going to bring back rock and dust and all that.
So what if these rocks and dust contain some kind of microbe that will wipe us out?
Well, I guess we'll just have to see if that happens. The 300 million miles to Mars began on July 30th, 2020. For 7 months, it cruised through space, tucked up inside a spacecraft like a bug in its protective shell.
Wow.
On February 18th, today, the most crucial portion of the rover's journey began. The do-or-die sequence of events known as Entry, Descent, and Landing, or EDL. During the end of its cruise phase, Perseverance was zooming towards Mars at a blazing 12,000 miles an hour. And once it hit the atmosphere, the drag on the spacecraft slowed to less than 1,000 miles an hour, and then a parachute slowed it to about 200. And
how are they going to get the car back? I mean, they're going to collect rocks and stuff. How are they getting these rocks back here?
There was a big write-up I was watching on NASA about how much of an effort they went through to clean these, to make sure that these collection containers were absolutely sterile, and that they're going to fill all this stuff up, and then they're going to deposit it, set it down in a place for a later mission that they have not completely figured out yet, for a later mission to come and pick that up and take it back to Earth.
Yeah, they're going to have little capsules.
So
I think
they're going to have the car pick up all these rocks and then what, like build a little mountain for us to go pick up at a later mission?
Yes.
So what is going to happen here when some other alien species lands on that planet and they find a weird rock formation?
Could be like Stonehenge.
Is it going to be like one of those, you're walking down a stream and you can see that somebody took a bunch of flat pebbles and made a piece of artwork over here on the left side? They're going to be like, weirdos live here. All right.
But that's the idea. That's what all that. But so dang it! You made me lose my spot. So now it's going to. It landed close to this Jezero crater, as they're calling it, and
Jezebel.
Jezero.
Jezebel.
Jezebel. No, that's not it. Jezero. Dang it.
It landed there.
Jezero with its boulders.
It landed in the crater.
Yes, with the Jezero crater with its boulders, cliff edges, and potentially problematic sand wasn't the safest place to send the rover, but Perseverance wouldn't have been able to make it there without some upgrades to previous landing technologies. For one, the automated software helped the rover guide itself to a hazard-free landing, and even with that extra precision, the team could not be sure where it would first set its wheels on Mars. So over the next day or so, using data from spacecraft in the Mars orbit, they're going to figure out exactly where the rover is. They don't know exactly where it's at right now, so it's going to take a few days to. They just know that it's close to this crater, and
so they got to figure out where. Do they have GPS on Mars yet?
No.
They're working on it.
They're working on it.
Actually, the orbiter above there actually terrain mapped that whole area. They've been terrain mapping Mars, and they use a terrain mapping software. That's how they set it down. They picked a spot.
Yeah.
And then the rover came down, and it's got some kind of radar and mapping system on it that correlates with the maps of the orbiter and puts it down right where it's supposed to go, from what I gathered. How about that?
Jezebel is where this thing is supposed to be?
No,
Yeah.
Jezero.
Jezero.
Yeah, it's in the lake where I used to fish.
Fishing
No.
Mars. Okay. No. Timmy the pilot is an alien, and I'm reasonably certain of that.
I brought back one with me. If you look at my my picture there.
I don't think you brought one back. I believe you are.
No.
So over the next few Martian days, Perseverance will deploy its high-gain antenna and try to make contact with Earth while making sure to keep its batteries charged and onboard instruments warm, because it is on average negative 65 degrees Fahrenheit.
Like Texas is right now.
On Mars. Yeah, like Texas is right now. And then once the team is satisfied the rover is on stable ground, it will deploy its remote sensing mast, where multiple cameras are located, and take a series of 360-degree panoramas. And then it will continue slowly transitioning from its landing software to surface software to move around.
Flag on the play.
And that will take about a week. What?
The rover is transitioning?
Yes, it is.
Oh, if you observe my picture, I transition too, so it is possible to transition. Okay.
Bad Timmy. Why? Why would you do that?
Because I'm an alien. Whatever.
Okay, so anyway, the rover is transitioning. It's transitioning into what?
It's transitioning from the landing software it used to land to surface software to be able to move around. And once the software checks are complete, the rover will then start to move its robotic arm and go for a short spin. And likely in a few months, Ingenuity, the helicopter drone that it is carrying, will make its first attempt at powered flight on another planet.
That'd be pretty cool.
So some pretty exciting stuff awaits from.
I think the biggest thing they got to worry about up there, being on the serious side here, is the windstorms up there.
Right.
That's what kind of crippled the other rovers that were on there. Curiosity and I forget what the name of the other ones were, but yeah, they get wicked dust storms and stuff on Mars. So.
Serious question. With the transitioning, are there any special pronouns that we're supposed to be mindful of?
Rusty. That's them. Maybe.
That's just it.
Just it.
Just it. That's all.
No other pronouns.
Not that I'm aware of. Nobody's asked it yet. I know.
So you can say it landed. So that's proper.
Okay.
It touched down. That's proper.
It has transitioned, but if it transitioned, we're staying with that pronoun?
Yes. It's one of those rare whatever.
Okay. So I believe we have some breaking news. We have an update on Sean. He has transitioned to a skirt because the pan and the little cup weren't making him enough money to get back home before Sunday. So
I'm going to get another live feed for you if you want it here in a second. So
okay. I believe he was picked up in a Lotus. He's now going for a ride with Richard Gere. We're uncertain which hotel
I got him. There he
he's
is.
going to at this time. He's one pretty.
I don't think Gere's a woman.
No, Sean's wearing the skirt.
Oh, I'm losing signal.
Oh, good grief. So yeah. So Perseverance on Mars.
Oh, look at that!
Am I fashionably late?
We have one hot Rocky.
Wow.
Hi, Rocky.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Now
Hi, Rusty. Hi, kids.
Class.
I've decided to come in and break up the sausage party.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're in, I believe, the one of only two places in the country that's actually warm, and Sean is in the other one.
Yes. The extremes of the country. Notice how, like, I'm in the Florida area and he's in California, so we're holding the fort on each side.
He's in Hollywood right now. We just got a report before you signed in or joined us that he was spotted wearing a skirt, and Richard Gere picked him up in a Lotus Esprit.
Don't believe that was Sean.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't.
Knowing Sean, I don't think that's him. But anything like Vegas, what happens in California stays in California. So
I got my haircut just for you. You like my haircut?
Look at that lovely bowl cut.
Thank you.
Breaking news. There has been a sighting, a possible. I can't. Nobody can confirm it yet. Of Dylan at a Turkish bath.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
Turkish bath. Do we have any idea where this Turkish bath is?
I think it's in New York. I'm not sure. I don't know.
There he is.
We have photographic evidence now.
Well, I think that's a drawn.
No, that's a night cam.
It's an artist rendering.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
The artist rendering. Dylan is at a Turkish bathhouse. Got it. A few minutes ago, I got another update on Steven. He was cited in Wyoming.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. This is not confirmed. There's no photographic evidence of this.
I do believe that there was a sighting of him. I want to say that I saw some photographic evidence from one Rue.
True. That there was photographic evidence of him hanging out with Rue at a bar. But it's been reported that this evening he is actually at a furry convention with Rue. Hey. So Stephen is exploring his animal side.
Listen, as I always say, the older I get, the more libertarian I become. I don't care what he does, as long as he doesn't ask me to pay for it and doesn't force it down my throat. Unless I want it forced down my throat.
Wow.
It's after hours. It is after hours, Timmy.
All right. Whoa. Good grief.
Indeed. So what have I missed, boys? I was hearing you as I was putting my child to sleep. I was listening to you guys talking about Rush Limbaugh's passing and the dichotomy between how we mourn people, regardless of where they are, politically speaking, and people on the left, and how they celebrate when people on our side pass.
Well, we called out some conservatives too, because
absolutely.
It wasn't all about the left. Definitely did, and it's absolutely fresh in everybody's mind that Rush Limbaugh has just passed, and the left's response to it was absolutely abhorrent. However, there were a lot of conservatives, and I pulled up some articles and read some quotes, whose behavior and language was absolutely abhorrent at the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Correct.
And then we discussed what can we do? I mean, ultimately, I came down with a couple weeks ago, defenders, the real ones, not the substitute defenders.
Yes,
we're the substitutes. They were discussing unity and how turning the other cheek and not responding evil for evil is where we should be at. And I tweeted at them, nope, ain't going to do it. I spent a couple weeks thinking about it. I am going to do it. Being kind, not returning evil for evil, doesn't mean I have to agree with them. Doesn't mean I have to let them have their way. Doesn't mean that I have to abdicate my principles. It simply means that I don't have to use the kind of language that they're using. I don't have to be a jerk.
You have to learn to agree to disagree and politely walk away from a conversation when it starts teetering towards when you reveal your cards too quickly. And I've learned this in the last 3-4 weeks. I started a new job. Granted, the company that I work for is owned by a conservative Christian family. So I know that politically it is a safe place for me to be. But the person that I report to does not subscribe to that point of view. She's pretty much a Bernie supporter. I was informed that she was a Bernie supporter. So I try to avoid those topics of politics, and I try to find some common grounds. We were discussing the topic of student loans and student loan debt. And I was telling her my perspective on student loan debt is that I incurred in that debt. It still is my responsibility. I don't want it to be forgiven. That's not to say that something needs to happen regarding student loan reform.
Right.
You know, I don't want, as much as I love working at the big box store on the weekends because it has allowed me to meet a lot of people and hone my customer service skills, I don't want to work 2 jobs because I have to pay back my student loans.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
And at some point you have to reach a common ground with people. And when it gets to a point where you don't think you're going to be able to manage being polite and cordial to someone, just end the conversation by saying, well, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree and let's leave the conversation here. And if they want to escalate it further, whether to get your goat, if you want your goat gotten, then you escalate the conversation. But otherwise, just turn around and walk away. Literally turn around and walk away, because some people are just going to continue being relentless in wanting to look for a bone to pick and having that confrontation. And with that confrontation comes you losing your temper and you not being a nice person, you not being a kind person. Let's give people the benefit of the doubt, and let's not do what they do. Just because they do it and they get away with it, those few people that have humanity left are going to be like, well, I don't agree with them, but at least you can talk to them.
Yeah, and we
Let's
talked
be those people.
A little bit about the frustration in that, in maintaining your temper.
Absolutely.
I don't think that we need to be the doormat that President Bush allowed himself to be.
Correct.
Nor do we necessarily have to be the jerk that Donald Trump was.
Exactly.
He accomplished a lot of fantastic things.
Agree.
I was wrong for it, and I feel bad for it, but I really liked it when he would beat the liberal media and his opponents all about the head and shoulders on Twitter. There was satisfaction in that after the beating the conservatives took for 8 years under Barack Obama. Because
it's that one person that would have the power to do so. We're little people. We can say, I don't support what CNN says. I can turn the channel off. But when you have someone with the clout and the title of President of the United States, he's saying exactly what's in our minds. And because he has the talking stick in his hand, by being president, he was able to voice all of these things that we know has been happening for the last, 2-3 decades?
Absolutely.
That we know that the media has been manipulating everything. I appreciated that. However, I think that it could have been done a little bit more tactically. We know that he's no Ronald Reagan. He wasn't a great communicator. He definitely didn't have a way with words, that's for sure. But
he hired one, though. That Kayleigh McEnany girl.
Yes, and I love that chick, and she's absolutely fantastic. I think that she should have been press secretary. Well, Sarah Huckabee Sanders wasn't.
She did a good job too.
Wasn't a wallflower either. She did a great job, but Kayleigh McEnany took it a step further by actually giving it right back to them and giving it to them with facts, and then just leaving the media with the humana look on their face. And she did it with class. She did it with poise, with intelligence.
She gave them the beating that Donald Trump gave them, but she gave it to them with
a feminine
being
touch.
Rude.
with a gentle and classy touch, which is what was needed at the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she did a great job. But I would have you know that she must be a guy, because there was a big deal made in the transition about Biden having an all-female communications team. So Kayleigh must be a guy. That makes me really sad because she's beautiful. Yeah. No, she's not. She's a woman. The media is a bunch of fawning sycophant. I go. I'm doing it again.
Yes, I know.
The media
It's
a bunch
tough
of fawning
thing to
sycophants, and they. Speaking of current press secretary, though, I have a little piece that one Brad Staggs played this morning. You can find it on the YouTubes. It is not mine. It is awesome, though, and I'm going to play it now before we get to break.
Our current White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, cannot do her job, so instead, she circles back.
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you, but I'll circle back if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back. I'm happy to circle back, so I can circle back. I will have to circle back on that one, but I'll have to circle back. We'll circle back, certainly circle back. I will have to circle back on that one. I hate to disappoint you, but I will have to circle back with you on that as well.
Now she finally did decide to circle back. Jen Psaki. She circles back.
I often
circle back.
I'm going to circle back.
Jen Psaki.
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you, but I'll circle back if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back. I'm happy to circle back. I can circle back. I will have to circle back on that one, but I'll have to circle back. We'll circle back, certainly circle back. I will have to circle back on that one. I hate to disappoint you, but I will have to circle back with you on that as well. I'll circle back.
Now
These are so catchy.
Decide. Circle back. Jen Psaki.
I'll have to just. I will have to circle back on that one. I hate to disappoint you, but I will.
That's like the Alex Jones. That's like the Alex Jones.
The gay frogs.
Auto tune, yes. That one, and it will eat your ass.
Thank you, Brad Staggs. I
Funny.
tremendously appreciate that. I was blowing snow out of my driveway this morning, listening to that on my headset, and I had to stop.
Sure, you're laughing.
I had to stop and have a cigarette break because I couldn't continue to operate the equipment that could take my leg off. So.
Yes, you kind of need your limbs.
Yeah. So
Oh my
we
goodness.
are at 1 hour. We got a 4-minute break coming up right here, and producer Chris is going to go have a cigarette. So join us here in 4 minutes. Of course, since we're only on YouTube and Facebook, these guys will probably be chatting the whole time I'm gone.
We'll be talking about you. Don't worry. All good things.
All good. Might want to lock the room.
I did lock the room.
Oh, okay.
After sudden appearances by our friends.
Right. Yeah, and Jamie just asked me why the room's locked, so I told her.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to have a cigarette. If I miss the music coming back in, Rusty, you take care of it.
Yep.
Or Rocky, whatever. We got show hosts here.
Yeah.
Only I don't have the music.
Well, you'll hear it.
You'll hear it. It's a show track.
Okay.
Greetings, Miss Rocky.
Hi, Timmy. I haven't seen you in a couple hours.
Minutes.
Minutes. I didn't see Rusty all day today.
Oh,
It's okay. It's a good thing.
What? Wait. No.
he was playing with his woods.
I was.
As he always does.
I was taking a break from the show. You need to do that a little more often. I'm on it a little too much.
I mean, but when you guys are on the road, it's like being on the road and driving around, it gets lonely, so the best thing that you can do is kind of like talk to people when you get there and get back. So I can certainly understand it.
Yeah. It definitely helps keep you awake.
I'm sure, especially for you overnight haulers. I'm looking at you, Robert, and Sean, and Kinsey, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and everybody else, and Timmy sometimes when he's hauling things.
Yeah, he's been caught out. Luckily, I get home every night, so.
Yeah, that's you're one of the lucky few that gets to go home to the lovely Mrs. Rusty, Mrs. Rusty Lugnuts. The best thing to ever happen to Rusty Lugnuts was Mrs. Rusty Lugnuts.
To her, I was the best thing to ever.
Yeah.
All right.
Something like that,
Whatever.
Whatever. Indeed. All right. So Fish and I did our audio test for tomorrow, and we're probably going to start tinkering with the video portion. So for those of you who are watching during the commercial break, Fish and I are working on adding a video portion to room 13. We just have to work the kinks out. I don't know if that may require me to obtain an additional monitor. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that there's a workaround. And we hope to upload that video to either the Mojo YouTube or the Mojo Facebook page. But got to work the details out first.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's her.
So how's he doing? Like he's still like he's like passing some stones.
He's still passing stones, yeah, because the stone that he had was large enough that it needed to be broken down, which was the surgery that he had. So he's still currently passing them. They're just much smaller.
Poor man. Poor man.
Stones and sediment and sand. So he's peeing sand.
I feel sorry for him. I hear it's ultra painful, and I'm glad I haven't had the
discomfort and displeasure.
Yeah, I've seen it knock some really tough people just right to the ground. You know,
I'm sure. I've always heard it described that it's like, oh, it's the equivalent of birthing a child for a man. I'm like,
well, I've known
our body stretches a little bit to accommodate that big melon coming out of our body.
I've heard of a couple of women having a stone problem, and they said that it was more painful.
Coming back hot.
Here we go.
Coming in hot.
You get it. You get it.
Well, welcome back. Rusty's taking a nap. We're here filling in for Defender. Stephen and Dylan are on holiday or something along those lines.
Who's Stephen and Dylan?
Well, they're traditionally the hosts of Defenders live Monday through Fridays, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only time zone that counts, clearly.
Where can they be found?
You can find them on mojo50.com. That's mojo50.com. You can find them on Facebook, mojo50.com facebook.com/mojo50, I believe. You know what I mean. And on the YouTube, on the YouTubes, on the Mojo50 page. Wait, are they there? They're on D Live. And where else? Am I missing something?
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. I hope everything is working out for Dylan. There were reports that he had a nasty weeping rash that he's, I guess, currently getting treatment for, allegedly.
A rash.
I'm hoping
a weeping rash.
What's a weeping rash?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
If you have it, you know what it is. That's how I've heard it explained. You know what it is when you have it.
It sounds painful.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
I hope that he's getting all the antibiotics and stuff to.
But I understand that with the appropriate course of treatment, you'll have minimal breakouts throughout your life.
Right. It'll be better. We're rooting for you, buddy.
Rocky, you was talking about goats earlier. I found one for you there. There you go.
Look at that. It looks just like you.
Excuse me?
It does. A lot like Jimmy. It does.
Looks just like you without your glasses.
No, that didn't work too well. So, back to smooching.
Aw, smoochy.
So anyway, what Rusty, what happened in this day in history? How about that? We going there?
Okay, we can touch on that if you want to.
Yeah, let's go there.
You want to?
We're touching something.
We touch things all the time. That's what we do.
A lot of things.
How about that guy?
Who?
You know who that guy is?
Oh yeah.
Does he look familiar?
Yeah, I forgot. So on this day 20 years ago, we lost that guy right there during the Daytona 500, February 18th, 2001.
Oh, was it that long ago?
Yeah. Dale Earnhardt Sr., a true racing legend, regarded as one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history. He was given several nicknames: Ironhead, Intimidator, the Man in Black. Tragically, his incredible career as a talented driver and beloved sports personality came to a devastating end during the final laps of the 2001 Daytona 500. During the final few laps, 3 teammates, all vying for the same prize and all in the top 3 spots, with Michael Waltrip poised to win. Teammates Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. hot on his heels, which would have made an incredible team victory, 1, 2, 3. But sadly, the day was marked by tragedy as a few moments before on the final lap, light contact with Sterling Marlin and Sr., with his senior's car losing control and turned into the wall at traveling upwards of 150 miles an hour. Which, if you watch the race, if you've seen it, I was watching it at the time, it didn't look that bad, but when you figure the forces that were involved,
plus the safety measures that were in fact back then weren't quite as good as they are now.
Right.
His death was tragic.
I've heard of a couple of women having. Hello.
What was that?
That producer, he's fired again. He forgot to mute something.
So
he's watching porn.
Right in front of Ken Schrader. As the cars came to a rest, Ken Schrader jumped out of his car and ran over, and seeing that there was some serious things going on with Dale, were waving for, frantically calling for medical assistance. And after being transported to a nearby hospital, doctors determined that he had died on impact from a basilar skull fracture, which is where your skull detaches from your spine. Yeah. So it was instant. It was lights out. As soon as it happened, he was gone.
Didn't that pretty much bring in them head restraint things that they wear now? I'm not really into NASCAR, but I think that's
the Hans head and neck support.
Yeah.
That it caused a change in the safety devices implemented. The Hans, if he'd have had it, they said he likely would have lived, and it has greatly reduced the number of driver injuries since then. And
that's kind of ironic because he probably has saved quite a few lives.
Yeah, it has. Which let's see, 1979 on this day. Where'd it go? Was the 1979 was the 21st Daytona 500, where Richard Petty won that one, and after race leaders Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison collide with each other on the final lap, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was also the fight that ensued between the two down in the infield, right on the side of the track, which was dangerous in itself.
I sort of remember that.
Yeah, I do too. I was watching that one. So there was a lot of things that happened on this day.
Are they all NASCAR related?
No, not all NASCAR. Just
Rusty's loaded with a plethora of information.
Well, now he's a professor, so I fully expect him to be informed and abreast.
Rusty, tell everybody
what was in the news.
On the Defenders, how that occurred, how you became a professor.
Well, I was, I've been studying for a while, and just working towards my professorship, and I do have my.
You got a diploma and all this?
Yeah, I got my diploma. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it here.
Get out of here! Esoteric psychology.
Yeah, esoteric.
Rusty J. Lugnuts.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's official.
I've been working on becoming a Scottish Lord. I don't know if you guys have heard about that.
I think
I've seen that. Yeah.
Wow.
Rusty made me feel bad with his, academic brilliance. And now Now
Yeah,
I
Lord
figured
of
I
He
gotta
gave
do.
you certificate. He gave you certificate envy.
He did. Now I need to become Lord.
So Chris is going to become a cheesehead lord. That's awesome.
Right. Lord Producer Chris.
Lord Producer Extraordinaire, Chris.
On this day in
I wouldn't go that far.
1856, the American Party, the Know Nothings, convene in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to nominate its first presidential candidate, former President Millard Fillmore. And
What was the party's name again?
The American Party. They were also known as the Know Nothings. I remember briefly touching on this in school, but
It seems like
the Know Nothing.
Both parties have taken over that moniker, the Know Nothing.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking of. Chris.
But I implore everybody, because when I seen this, it's kind of weird. Millard Fillmore, the picture that they show of him, he was our 13th U.S. president. He bears a striking resemblance, or they bear a striking resemblance to him, the Baldwins, Alec Baldwin, and all them. If you look at it, it is uncanny.
Yes, he does. He looks a lot like Alec
that they look a lot alike there. On this day, 1861, Confederate President Jefferson Davis inaugurated in Montgomery, Alabama, President of the Confederate States. Which
you can't say that now.
I know you can't say that. Does that make me racist just because I read it out loud? Am I
the
racist
Off Track
now?
Syndicate's social media intern has just proclaimed you Professor Nuts.
I can't.
Sounds about right.
You can't argue with that. So.
On this day, 1879, sculptor Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, nailed it, is awarded a patent for his design for the Statue of Liberty.
Whoa. Bartholdi, is that
I
French
believe
or
that's,
Italian?
I believe that's right. Is that not right, Rocky? Bartholdi?
It was a gift from the French. Yeah, sounds about right, I think.
That sounds right. Anyway, he's the sculptor.
Are you sure Millard Fillmore looks more like Steven Seagal than he does Alec Baldwin?
No, you're looking at the wrong person.
Well, now now that you say that, yeah, I can see Steven Seagal there.
I'm looking at this image on my trusty iPad, and I don't know. No, you probably won't be able to see it because I have the virtual background right now. But I'm looking at this one picture, and I'm like, no, that looks more like Steven Seagal than he does the Baldwins.
Now that you say that, yeah, I see the resemblance there.
I mean, I don't know, but
Who knows? On this day, 1884, police seize all copies of Tolstoy's "What I Believe In."
What's that?
It's I don't know. I've heard of Tolstoy. I haven't read the book. I don't know.
I watched Toy Story, but I don't know.
No, it's Leo Tolstoy.
1885. This is a big day. Mark Twain publishes The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in the U.S.
There you go. There's some literature for you.
That was a racist story.
Well, I mean,
they're all racist stories now. Does it really matter? Racist. That's right.
Rusty, hold on for a second. I think we're getting Sean in here. I got him on the satellite again. Just hold
we
on.
got Sean on the satellite again? Okay.
Yeah,
he's smoking in the.
He's smoking in the boys' room.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that passenger there looks awful familiar.
No, don't say nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. 1909, Boston Red Sox trade Cy Young at age 41 to the Cleveland Naps. That was a lazy team.
No, you can't say that either. Naps.
Naps, you can't.
No, do not go anywhere near the word naps.
No naps.
What's his face? Don Imus got canceled for that.
That's right, Don Imus. Bye.
He said something like nap and.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, don't. No,
don't even.
All over
don't
for
even
him.
suggest it.
I mean, it was immediately.
That's racist.
No.
Something about naps and hair.
Yeah, naps and hair. It was bad.
No, don't.
He's a man. He shouldn't talk about hair.
Don't talk about it anymore.
Hey,
What?
speaking of hair,
Yeah.
I've got hair.
can I make a comment on Gorilla Glue Hair Girl?
Oh, yeah. Please go ahead.
Let's
Have at it. The floor is yours.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
With this being February and with this being Black History Month,
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, how is it that a black woman is gluing her hair to, like, I've heard the story of it, but I'm trying to understand, why was it that she was looking for moco de gorilla to put on her hair? Like, was it that she was trying to get a weave, or was she just trying to style her hair so that her hair would be flat?
What was that you called that? Mocha
Or
what?
it's
Mocha what?
it's actually a Hispanic product. It's called moco de gorilla, or gorilla snot.
Oh, you mean like this? Like something like that?
Yes, something like that. Exactly. It's a gel type product that just stiffens your hair.
That's actually a picture of Melissa.
Yeah, it's actually Melissa did the same thing.
She was working on her hair the other day, and she took a picture of it for Timmy for some reason.
I don't know why she sent that to me, but she thought that I might like it.
Okay. Hey. Okay. No
Thanks,
problem.
Melissa, wherever you are.
Yes.
Whatever.
To finish my point, with this being Black History Month, and this is the month where there's a hyper focus on Black pride and recognition of Black heritage. I'd be curious to know, why is a Black woman trying to make her hair look like it belongs to a white girl? Meaning wearing a weave or a hair that's not her own natural hair texture.
Is that a white girl's hair, or was she trying to imitate a Hispanic?
Listen,
that's
there's
cultural
Hispanic
appropriation.
ladies. There's Hispanic. Well, that's the thing. If black is beautiful,
Yes.
and natural is beautiful, why are you using Gorilla Glue to change your appearance? Shouldn't you be proud in your blackness? Shouldn't you be proud that your hair isn't pin straight, that it's not blonde, that it's not...
No, I see, I see quite a few black
So she should be
ladies
proud of a Don Hymas style hairdo.
with blonde.
She should be proud that her hair is...
Did you just say Don Hymas?
A Don Imus hairdo.
Oh.
But is it not cultural appropriation if a black girl puts on blonde hair?
Yes, or dyes her hair blonde or straightens it. If we want to use that logic, then aren't you whitening yourself in the process?
That's racist.
Just a thought.
I don't.
So, and it's like, this is my hair. This is my hair, natural
I mean,
curl.
Rocky, think about this. Back in the 70s.
I'm happy with the way that it is, but I straighten it because I know that my hair doesn't always look great when it's super duper curly.
I always had curly hair. So actually, I used to go get it permed. And back in the 70s, I used to pick it out. And I had
why? You don't have to.
But it looked good under it back then. They used to call it an afro. That's what they called it. But I was not trying to be black. I just liked the hairdo. So
but nowadays, it would be considered cultural appropriation.
Pixar didn't happen, Timmy. I'm telling you, Pixar didn't happen.
Right. Or, but see, you got to remember, it's only cultural appropriation if a white person does it.
But I don't understand because I remember. Yes, thank you. I remember that back in the day, learning about other people's cultures meant that we were going to become part of this global society where everybody got along and we all understood and appreciated each other's cultures. Now appreciating someone's culture is now cultural appropriation. So which is it? Do you want me to understand and learn more about your culture? Or do you want me to be ignorant and you're going to call me a racist anyway because I don't understand your culture? And when I try, you're telling me that I'm appropriating it. So which is it?
Who among us?
Well, you can't. Obviously, you cannot bring logic and ask those kind of questions because that makes you racist.
Well, I can't be racist because I'm Hispanic and I'm a woman. So
if I like races, if I like car races, aren't I also a racist?
That's racist.
Wouldn't that be a racer?
Well, if I believe in car racing, I think that makes me a racist. I don't know. I'm too confused. It's all too confusing. It really is.
It can get confusing. That's for sure. It can definitely get confusing. After a while, everything changes at such breakneck speed that you don't even know what's appropriate anymore. Because what you think is appropriate now is going to be inappropriate and insulting 5 minutes from now.
Right, and I think that's by design.
So yes, it's a concerted effort to make sure that you keep your mouth shut and you don't say anything. You just accept it.
Yep.
Right.
And in the words of my very good friend Waffle, shh, just let it happen.
Shh, just let it happen.
Just let it happen.
Rusty, can you sting me, man?
I can sting you right here.
Off Track Syndicate.
Ooh, that one's a little hot. Sorry about that.
And Chris, you want to prove? There you go.
That's not you.
Why isn't that me?
I don't know. I don't have a hard time believing it could have been Timmy. I mean,
I don't.
This
think
one is
This was
goofy.
I don't
looking.
think that's Timmy.
This was in the 70s. Okay.
No, well, it might have been in the 70s, but it's not you.
Let's vote on this, people. Anybody
Thank
in
you,
the YouTubes or the Facebooks, let me know if you think that is Timmy or not.
I don't think that's Timmy.
And what we're going to do now
1972.
is discuss Ted Cruz's terrible trip to Cancun. I cannot believe this man, personally, would even think about taking a trip to Cancun while the people that he represents in the state of Florida are freezing to death. I mean,
Texas.
Yeah, I suck. Anyway, his constituents in Texas, they're freezing. And how dare he, sir, take a trip to Cancun? How insensitive is that? Just flaunting his warmness in the sun in Cancun, Mexico.
Was this a planned trip to Cancun? Was this something that he had in the books for a very long time prior to this?
Oh yeah,
Cancun.
Cancun, Mexico. He was on a trip to chaperone his daughters.
For spring break? Spring break, maybe?
Yeah. Anyway, he was phoned and photographed in an airport on his way to Cancun, Mexico. He is now back because the optics were terrible and he folded like a cheap suit. Bad Ted Cruz. You should have just enjoyed your vacation, sir. Hey, what do they want him to do? He's not a lineman. He has no idea how to operate a power plant, be it gas, coal, nuclear, wind, any of these things. He can't be of any help or use right now.
What exactly was he supposed to do by staying in Texas? And wouldn't he have been in Congress at this point in Washington D.C.? So what would he have done in Texas anyway?
He's got nothing to do with this. He's a federal senator.
No, but this is the media doing what the media does.
It's his
They're
fault.
doing something that we're jealous of, and so we're going to attack him for it.
Let's devil's advocate here.
All right, break it down for me, Rusty.
Devil's advocate had the shoe been on the other foot, and this was a Democrat, would not the Republicans and everybody on the Republican side, would they not be standing on their heads, jumping up and down that this person left to go to Cancun while all this other crap was going on?
There are wildfires in California every year. I don't believe I have ever once seen a post on Facebook or anywhere else or an article written by a conservative magazine that said Nancy Pelosi was off doing whatever. I'm certain that she's taken a vacation during those times. But I haven't seen anybody reporting on it. Nobody cares. What is Nancy going to do? She's not a firefighter.
I think that in a situation like that, the parties that should be involved in that process should be the governors of that
and the state politicians, if necessary. I don't even think they should be
at the
involved.
state level. At the state level, I think that it should be the governor and the governor's office and governor's cabinet, because it is a local situation.
And do we
that
need
Ted
to
Cruz
allocate
does
some...
represent Texas? Yeah, sure. But like to Chris's point, what exactly is Ted Cruz supposed to do?
He's one senator at the federal level passing federal laws.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been chipping ice off the windmill.
There's nothing for the federal branch to do at this point. I mean, the executive branch can go ahead and send FEMA. They could declare an emergency, and
wow.
Angry Chris will rant some more in a little while. Goodbye.
Okay.
We're coming back in 2 minutes.
Fine. Be that way.
Really?
Really?
I like
that
bumper
song.
music.
That was good.
Yeah, I
like it.
I stole one thing from... I don't have any idea. I stole one thing from Off Tracks. The music we come back from our first break to. I really like that one. That's my favorite song in the Off Track break. And
Are we keeping you awake, Rocky?
I think I used that one twice. I believe we
Yes.
come back from this break to that one.
Hmm.
But everything else is new.
I'm usually in bed at this time, boys. I'm here to help out.
It was very nice of you to stay up and help us
Yes.
out.
Yes.
I mean,
Well, ideally, I would have been recording with Fish at this point, but
You recorded
not well.
first.
I'm recording with the Fish. But I
Oh,
think
how-
he
how's
probably
it
needs
going?
another day to recover. I was telling Chris earlier that he's still passing kidney
Wow.
stone bits.
Yeah.
So kidney stone kids and sand and sediment and stuff. So
Wow.
he's still processing it.
Did
But
did they blast him with ultrasound or anything like that?
I believe that they did. I believe that was the gist of the procedure. Break it down into smaller pieces so that he can pass them all.
So,
Because I guess they just can't remove the whole thing.
so he had marbles left on him from being a kid when he swallowed the marbles years ago. So he went,
Probably.
no.
That's why they tell you to not swallow watermelon seeds. They become kidney stones.
Oh,
I thought you got like pregnant with watermelons if you...
that's what I always thought too. What?
I thought that was from when you sat on the dirty toilet seat.
No,
that's correct.
That's why with the watermelon seeds, you're supposed to spit and not swallow the like a little machine gun.
Really?
Yeah.
You've done that before, right?
Glad I wasn't drinking my coffee right then.
Machine gun watermelon.
It's a great band name.
And we've made it to the final half an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Returning
God.
with the poor Timmy. We've kept him up past his bedtime.
I know.
We've returned with that off-track tune there. That's my favorite song out of the off-track backing track that we use on
The
Sunday night.
soundtrack. The off-track soundtrack.
The
What's the
off-track
name of the
soundtrack.
show again? What's the name of the show?
Off-track Syndicate.
No,
It's
this
show.
no,
This show, we're once again filling in for the Defenders. You can catch them Monday through Friday from 9 until 11 Eastern Time. And you can check them out at DOAEshow.com. You can check us out at Off Track Syndicate on Facebook. Go check out our shirt, 30 Second Dick Fire.
Wow.
It's a band we were used to play in.
Oh,
we also used to play in a band called Watermelon Machine Gun.
Wow.
New merch coming shortly.
By the way, you can't catch Defenders if you have your mask on. Okay.
It's true. And Timmy is not a substitute defender. Timmy is the bumper.
I'm the bumper.
Yeah, we are defenders. He is the bumper. He's on the back of the car. He's the ass.
I thought that we were the defender benders.
Defender benders.
There you go.
Yeah,
The defender benders.
I get to be the front bumper though. Timmy's in the back. He's the ass.
Hey, do we have any more science sections, Rusty? Is there any like science bitches or anything like you guys do over on the Off Crack?
I
Off
don't,
Crack? Did you say? No, it's Off Track Syndicate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Off Crack.
Are you sure?
You can find us on
only
mojo50.com.
I only listened to the first 5 minutes of the show because I fall asleep. So I'm sorry.
That's not true. You did that one night where you drank every time I laughed.
That
happens a lot.
Yeah, that worked out real well.
That was bad for Timmy.
Bad Timmy.
Timmy was drunk.
Rusty, let's do some more science. We got science here?
He's looking for one. Give him a minute. We also got to plug a different show. We got another host going on here. Rocky, tell them where they can find you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am Rocky with an I, and usually with Mr. Riverfish at the Riverfish on Twitter. We are Room 13. You can find us on Twitter at Room 13 Show. We hit a little technical difficulty on Saturday. We had a very special guest filling in, but due to some audio issues, we were unable to air that program, which saddens me greatly because I absolutely love this guest host we had. But Fish and I will be back to our shenanigans as scheduled on Saturday. That is, of course, provided that Mojo 50, the network, is up and running, because due to weather and technical difficulties, if you hear any repeats or anything like that, it's likely because there's no power to the station.
Just blame Ron. So
no, I can't blame Ron. Ron's trying to find.
He's working on it real hard. He's on he's on an exercise bike right now, hooked up to a little turbine, and
he's given Doc Kitty that super extra mega special cat litter and put him on the treadmill when he has to go and take a poop break.
Yeah, they're working on getting the batteries powered up enough to run the studio, but right now,
that's right.
So far, all they've got is just enough for Ron or for Brad to power up. They haven't quite got the servers ready yet.
Right. I do have a quick science, interesting little weird thing here.
Cool.
Science? Wait.
Science? What?
What?
Play it.
Hurry up. What?
Oh my God, where is it?
Where's that guy behind the glass when you need him?
So she said.
Oh, that is what she said.
Oh my God, this guy comes prepared.
You call yourself a producer.
You threw a wrench in.
And now, time for Off Track's most serious, hard-hitting segment. Mostly because we don't do serious or hard-hitting.
It's science, bitches.
Yo, bitches, it's science.
It's science, bitches.
Yeah, science, bitches.
Yes, so the American Chemical Society periodical, Nano, is reporting that edible holograms could someday decorate foods.
Whoa. Back that train up. Edible holograms.
Edible holograms.
Wouldn't that be air?
No, well, holograms
You got a thing against that?
From driver's licenses to credit cards to product packaging. And now edible holograms could someday enhance foods.
Wow.
Researchers are reporting
we're going to eat holographic food?
Yep. It's going to be food with hologram, not holographic, hologram. You know, the pictures that you can like turn and it looks like you can see more.
Is it going to look like a burger and taste like crap?
No, look like crap and taste like a burger.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Researchers have reportedly developed a laser-based method.
For you to say.
I thought Sean wasn't here today.
To print nano-structured holograms on dried corn syrup films.
That sounds delicious.
The edible holograms could also be used to ensure food safety. Label a product or indicate sugar content, the researchers say. Most holograms are imprinted with lasers onto metal surfaces, such as aluminum, but the materials aren't edible. For foods, holograms made with nanoparticles have been proposed, but the tiny particles could generate reactive oxygen species, which might be harmful for people to eat. In a different approach, food scientists have molded edible holograms onto chocolate, but the process only works for certain types of the confection, and a different mold is needed for each hologram design. To develop their method, the researchers made a solution.
So we're eating moldy holograms?
The mold. No. To develop their method, the researchers made a solution of corn syrup, vanilla, and water and dried it into a thin film. They coated the film with a fine layer of non-toxic black dye. Then they used a technique called direct laser interference patterning to etch off most of the dye, leaving behind raised nanoscale lines that formed diffraction grating. When struck by light, the nanostructures diffracted the light into a rainbow pattern. Blah, blah, blah.
Is this safe to eat?
That's delicious.
That's what they're saying. Before edible holograms are ready to hit store shelves, the researchers want to adapt the method to a food-grade dye that could replace the synthetic black dye used in these pilot experiments. So, hologram foods could be coming soon.
Are we testing these foods currently on anyone?
Yum.
I'm wondering if it is that they failed to use like crystallized sugar. Like, have you seen when you buy certain cookies at the store and they have like the bigger sugar crystals? It's like, were they unable to utilize those sugar crystals and just color them with something to utilize that? Because I have bought like cookies in which they use like a shimmery kind of sugar, and it comes in different colors too. Whenever they do like unicorn cookies and things like that.
Like he's been a guinea pig.
So if we
no, I'm just saying,
that kind of an idea.
I don't know.
So you think that kind of an idea is what we've got going on here that's then creating?
It's pretty weird.
Translucent hologram food?
I guess not hologram, holographic, right?
No, hologram.
Hologram.
Yeah, like honeygrams, like graham crackers.
Okay.
Anything like an Instagram?
Could be.
I don't know. I don't know
Rocky's
anything.
version of Rocky's
all I
version
know
of
about
social
confections. All I know about confections is how to eat them.
Cool.
I did learn that Rocky's version of social media is the Telegram. Just for listening to Room
you're
13.
Confusing. You're confusing me with I sometimes use Telegram.
I got a
the social media app Telegram.
And this is different than a Telegram?
You ever have a stripogram?
No. No, but I'm sure you have.
Do you wanna?
No. No.
We have
Absolutely not.
We have another Defenders sighting. This just in over the socials. Dylan was seen at the border, right down on the very bottom edge of Florida, trying to smuggle Stephen back into the country from his trip down to the Voodoo Island in a cat cooler. So apparently they floated Stephen back in a cat cooler because they're rugged. I mean, they can handle the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they can take quite a beating because I understand that they're rugged. I can definitely see that it's being put to the test, and I don't know. I hear that you can't like contraband a cat into New Mexico.
It's true. No cats into New Mexico, but apparently you can smuggle a U.S. citizen back across the Florida border if they float
That's
them to you.
totally okay.
If they float them to you in a cat cooler.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you smuggling somebody across the border if they're already a citizen?
Interesting. He didn't go through the normal channels and show his passport.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
he could be in trouble.
And nowadays, aren't there rules when you travel outside of certain states that you have to quarantine?
He's trying to get past quarantine.
That you have to quarantine yourself for a certain amount of time, especially when you come from one of those states that has seen rises in COVID cases.
Yeah, and when you've taken
Rona
part in one of
cases.
those dangerous, and I would dare say risky, blood rituals in the Dominican Republic with the chickens, that's how Steven stays so young looking. We allegedly, we heard that in the first hour. So
yeah.
So
is that how he does it?
Yeah. Now he's being smuggled back into the country in a cat cooler. If you'd like a cooler that you could smuggle Steven around in, you can go get yourself one. It'll keep Steven alive on the ocean for 7 days. It'll hold ice for 7 days. Catcoolers.com. Catcoolers.com. Use the promo code whiskey. You may also buy a tumbler, and they are badass. I mean, we could use that tumbler right there to knock Rusty out. It's amazing that Judy hasn't hit him in the head with it.
As much as he deserves it, I don't know if I necessarily want to do that.
Wait, shouldn't we be using the promo code for? Do we not know what the promo code for Defenders was? Seeing as how this is their show,
if you know the promo code for Defenders, go ahead and use it. Unless you order it, after the show's over, and then use the promo code whiskey.
This is a show.
That looks like a giant sippy cup.
This is a valid question. Well done, Rocky. Well done. Thank you.
That looks like a sippy cup.
Who among us?
I thought this was just a Zoom call amongst friends or something like that. I thought this was like a regular Thursday night.
Yeah, I've been in a new wind turbine, you guys. I don't know if you've been looking at my picture up there. But
is that one capable of not freezing like the ones in Texas right now?
Yeah, it's actually. Yeah,
they're still eyesores.
Actually, if you look at the blades, they're solar panels, so they actually power the wind turbine. This is like very efficient. So the wind turbine produces electricity.
So it's taking two inefficient sources of power.
Yes.
To provide power.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, you figured that out quite well. That's the new concept that they're going to be using in Texas. The solar panels power the wind turbine to turn the wind turbine to produce electricity.
In an article I read this afternoon, the CNN took Governor Abbott to task for his false claims.
Did they now?
That wind power was to blame for some of Texas's troubles right now. Because wind power does not account for more than 25% of their power generation, CNN called that claim false. I would like to run a fact check on this. The fact check is going to say it was missing context, as the fact checkers of Facebook are famed to say.
Famous for.
I agree.
Right. The windmills were expected to produce 63 megawatts worth of power by the Reliability Energy Council of Texas, which is poorly named. They're producing less than 6 megawatts because most of them are frozen solid and can't move. Wind power in Texas is producing less than 10% of the efficiency that was expected. It is a problem. Governor Abbott said it was a problem. He was correct. Natural gas produces a large majority of Texas's power, also a problem, because they didn't winterize their plants. These plants are fully capable of running in negative 50 degrees. We've got them here in Wisconsin. They run year-round in negative temperatures.
Right.
It's fully capable of doing so. However, you have to build it to handle that. You have to winterize. You have to build to insulate parts that could potentially get cold and freeze. Texas didn't do that because they didn't expect this kind of weather. That was poor planning.
So exactly. So they didn't prepare for it, and now they're in this situation.
I don't think we have an energy reliability council up here in Michigan. So
we don't need one.
Somebody done something right up here.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably one of the only thing that
I think
that Michigan has done right lately.
That's true. But
Texas
Chris,
also has some of the lowest energy costs in the nation because they've taken themselves completely off the grid that the other 47 contiguous states use.
Right.
They are their own. However, they should have built in some redundancy whereby they could purchase power from external states in an emergency. They're not set up to do that right now.
I have a question about the wind turbines because typically the wind turbines produce about 3 to 4 megawatts apiece.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
So Texas has got a whole, may I say it, shitload of wind turbines down there?
Yes, sir.
So you were saying that they only produced like 60 megawatts?
They were expecting 63 megawatts from the existing wind farms.
So if you divide 63 by, say, 3, what do you get? Just off the top of your head.
21.
31.
Say like, okay, 21 wind turbines? What's wrong with the rest of the wind turbines? Are they froze, you said? And there's probably a couple thousand wind turbines down there.
Well, wind turbines are notoriously, useless. They generally have a usable lifetime of 25 years. They take 20 years to pay for themselves. So they have 5 years worth of profit that they can possibly make off of them. They run less than 20% of the time, and they break a lot. Plus, if you use them in a northern climate such as Wisconsin, when they freeze over, if you don't put the brakes on them and keep them from operating, they can send that ice flying a very long ways, which is dangerous. They're called ice flings, giant flings of ice that will cave in houses.
Them blades, the tips of those blades are almost traveling at the speed of sound. So you can imagine how fast that ice will come flying off of that tip of that blade. So you better not be in the way. And another thing, when
de-icing them takes how much fuel? Helicopter fuel is pretty cheap, right, Timmy?
No.
So a bunch of helicopter fuel is required to de-ice these things when they become iced. Right. You've just negated your green energy.
Plus, you're spraying a toxic substance.
You're still relying on oil to.
Right.
What is the substance that they use for de-icing, Mr. Timmy the Pilot?
I believe it's called glycol.
Okay.
What is glycol a derivative of? From?
Kind of like alcohol and things like that, and other chemicals.
Maybe not good for the plants and the animals around there.
No, I don't think they like glycol.
Perchance.
Yeah. But you know what they do with the wind turbines after they break down and can't use them anymore? They cut them up and stick them in landfills.
Yeah, in Wyoming, according to TechRoo, I just found out.
Yeah, but they don't decompose or nothing.
The blades are sent to Casper, Wyoming to be buried after they are no longer useful.
Yeah, they
they kind of undo any kind of progress that they might make.
Right.
Nobody's going out to Casper, Wyoming to see this, though, so we don't have to tell anybody.
No, of course not.
Nobody goes to Wyoming.
We also don't want any pictures of the lithium mines.
No, don't talk about that.
No,
not them. No.
Or your batteries.
No, those destroy the planet and stuff.
I'd like to know what the shipping cost is on these. These blades are like 100 feet long, aren't they? A single blade.
Have you ever seen the semi-truck that it requires to move one of these blades?
Right, I guarantee you.
Yeah, they're about 100 to 120 foot long blades.
Like independent axles that are strapped to this thing with a platform on both ends. And when they go around a corner, somebody goes to the back of the truck and steers it. Like they get on and the front of the truck drives and turns, and somebody's sitting on the back steering the wheels so that they can try and make a corner.
Yeah, it's like a fire truck, one of them big fire trucks.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah. Bottom line, green energy is not all that green, folks. It's not efficient. In cold weather, it just downright doesn't work. And I'm all for it. If you can make me a good solar panel that'll heat my house and reliably take care of my energy needs.
I know somebody that can
reliably.
That sounds so familiar.
Doesn't it?
Where can we could find out about something like that? Where could we find out about something like that, Rocky?
Rusty knows or Rocky knows.
Oh, I know.
Tell us about it.
I believe that the fine folks at patriotenergyaz.org, patriotenergyaz.org can help out with that.
That's right.
They are a veteran-owned company from Arizona. You can contact them. They won't hassle you. They won't haggle you. They'll ask you just a few basic questions. They'll find out where you live, and they'll check to see if solar energy is something that you can implement in your household.
I don't think they charge anything either for the free consultation.
No, it's a free consultation. That's correct. Call them or reach out to them to see if it is right for you. PatriotEnergyAZ.org, PatriotEnergyAZ.org. Did I miss anything?
They also have a new
producer.
They have a new website.
No way.
You can find them at the PatriotEnergyAZ.org, but you can also find them at mojo50solar.com. It will redirect you.
Can you say that again? I didn't hear that. What was that?
Mojo50solar.com. It'll actually redirect you to the PatriotEnergyAZ.org.
That's the Common Core answer to your question. I did the long division.
You did. You gave them the right answer. However, they bought the other website so that they could redirect it. Mojo50 Solar will get you there as well.
Awesome.
Like Rocky said, though, I mean, maybe it's right for you. Maybe it would make sense for the house you're in. It's not going to take care of all of your energy needs, but if it takes care of some of them and reduces your cost by 40%, is it worth it? Probably over the long haul. If you live in a place like Arizona where you can get sunlight year-round, you might make enough to put the power back into the grid and get a check instead of paying an electric bill. Hello?
Yeah.
Exactly. If you live in a state like Florida, where I reside, the land of perpetual sunshine, I'm pretty sure that it'll pay for itself much faster
nothing to
than
find
if you lived
out.
in any other state.
You can put all that excess power back in the grid and make money, Rocky.
That's right. Everybody likes money. It's better than finding out you have a rich uncle who left you a fortune.
You can ship some of that power over to Texas. There you go. Ooh. Sorry, Texas.
Yes, perhaps.
Sorry, Texas. I love Texas, but
yeah. Be safe, all of our friends in Texas. Be safe.
Yes.
It's super cold. We're praying for you.
Yes, we are.
Also, maybe get Doc Kitty some Dynavite. I've heard that'll help them run faster.
Jeez. I remember that.
Okay. Rusty, you okay down there, Rusty?
I remember that.
I don't have anything intelligent to add. So,
but you're the professor.
Well, I mean, y'all are doing a fine job.
He used up all of his stuff.
Did you use up all your stuff?
Well, no, I have another story here.
Okay, hurry up. We got time.
Wait, Sean just made an appearance in the Mojo50 Facebook chat. Hey, Sean, did you get away from the hookers and blow?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Russ.
So, numerous studies have shown that trained dogs can detect many kinds of diseases, including lung, breast, ovarian, bladder, and prostate cancers, and possibly COVID-19.
No way.
Through smell. In some cases involving prostate cancer, how would the dog smell for that? I mean, does he like put his...
They can smell cancer.
Anyway, involving prostate cancer, for example, the dogs had a 99% success rate in detecting disease by here we go, sniffing patients' urine samples. But it takes time to train such dogs, and the availability and time is limited. Scientists have been hunting for ways of automating the amazing olfactory capabilities of canine noses and brains in a compacted device. Now a team of researchers at MIT and other institutions have come up with a system that can detect the chemical and microbial content of an air sample with even greater sensitivity than a dog's nose.
That's impressive.
This coupled to a machine learning process can identify the distinctive characteristics of disease-bearing samples. So,
is the dog more efficient than our current rapid test?
I believe it is. Currently,
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But, they're working on it. The findings, researchers say, could someday lead to an automated odor detection system small enough to be incorporated into a cell phone. It was published in the journal.
So we can get an app and test for COVID?
Well, cancer.
Okay.
Research scientists at MIT and 18 other and John Hopkins and a plethora of other places, they are working on this. Dogs have been doing this for 15 years, and they are the most accurate detectors of anything they've tried so far, but the science is coming up, and they're working on to beat that. What's more, the dogs apparently pick up connections that have far eluded human researchers. So in the latest test, the team tested 50 samples of urine from confirmed cases, using both dogs trained and handled in the UK and miniaturized detection system, and both methods scored more than 70%.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So I guess they're utilizing people who already have been diagnosed with cancer, and they're utilizing their urine samples to train the dogs.
Yeah. So
okay.
Some new stuff coming up in that area.
We don't deserve dogs. We don't deserve dogs.
Anyway, I'm headed back to the home 20 here. We just took off from the airport here. So I appreciate you guys letting me waste some time on the show today. And
hell yeah, travel safely.
And what was the name of that show again?
Off Crack. Tonight's show, Defenders of American Exceptionalism, or the DOAE show. You can find them at DOAEshow.com. At Dylan Lyles, at Stephen Airy. Go ahead and tweet at them and let them know what a poor decision they made for a cover this evening.
Absolutely.
That this is what you get when you bail out on your loyal listeners.
And we expect a check soon. So
we want to know that Stephen did indeed make it back safe when they imported him into Florida with the cat cooler.
So. And make sure you say your prayers for Dylan and that nasty, weepy rash.
Yeah.
Hopefully he got
yeah.
Rest in peace, Rush. Rest in peace, my brother.
Rest in peace, Rush.
Don't forget to reapply that lotion every 4 hours there, Dylan.
Yep.
And yes, Rush, you'll be missed.
Room 13 podcast, 9 a.m. Saturday morning, Off Track, 8 a.m. Sunday night. We're out of here. Bye.
8 p.m. Sunday night.
8 p.m.? What? I don't even know when my show is.
8 p.m.